Welcome to the Soolip Fix. I'm Wanda Wen. Today, I'm going to walk you through wrapping a gorgeous present. I have a present from my sister and her husband. It's their anniversary. But more so, I'm going to teach you how to work with a crystal, and how to ribbon wrap it, which is a trick that I love because it can be applied in so many different spaces. I have this great little gift. Don't tell her, it's a surprise, but she'll know about it. Anyways, it's just a really luxe paper pad. It's in a nice paper tray. It's in a nice tray, but I'm going to jazz it up just a little bit before I really wrap it. So I'm going to take this skinny gold twine. This has thousands and thousands of yards, so I use it a lot. But this gift didn't have, I just felt like it needed a little bit of sparkle. So I'm just gonna wrap this gold twine. And if you don't have the skinny gold thread works beautifully. Sometimes when you just need a little bit of zhuzh or a little bit of sparkle, not a lot. I'm not into a lot of bling bling, but I am into adding a little bit of elevation sometimes where, you know, a little bit of elevation is needed. As you could see, I just wrapped it, here. I just wrapped it 5 times in one direction, 5 times in another, and I'm going to, okay. This is what happens with this twine, is that if you pull it a little bit too hard, it comes, well, it breaks. But not to worry, I'm just going to redo it. And because this twine is really very, very economical, I'm just going to put it aside and we're gonna try it again. Okay, so this way you get to see me do it again and being able to learn this on your own. So I take the twine, I wrap it 5 times one way, and meanwhile my left hand is securing that loose edge. I'm gonna set my gift down. Actually, that was 4 times. It's okay. 4 or 5 doesn't really matter. Sometimes you could do 8. I've done that. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it around this way. Normally, you know, you could bring everything into the center and scrunch everything in, but this time I'm not. I'm going to just do this on one side so it just gives it just a little bit more of an artistic feel. Keeping in mind that this thread is super delicate. I don't want to pull it too hard. I'm going to clip it short. So it's just this little detail of gold. So now this just looks just a little bit prettier. All right. Basically, it's like layering of love. When I prepare a gift for someone, I think of it as, okay, well, what can I add? Just not a lot of stuff, but small, delicate details. Okay, so now this is ready to be wrapped. So I'm gonna choose this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous metallic. It's a Japanese metallic mummy. It has an amazing surface. It's got this crinkled texture. It's sort of foil-like, so it wraps beautifully. And it's quite a large piece of paper. I mean, you could see, I think it's like, you know, 29 inches by 36 inches. Okay, and this is not an inexpensive paper. I mean, it's $36 a sheet, so it's pricey. But when you're working with a pricey paper, just use it sparingly, right? Okay, so I'm going to, let me see if, yeah, so this will, what I'm eyeballing is, this is the width of the paper, and I want to keep as much of the paper intact, so I'm going to use like one side of it, but make sure that if I cut a piece like this, it's going to wrap around my gift, and I just kind of eyeballed and checked that it did. Okay, so normally you've seen me measure it so that if you bring it up on one side and you give yourself 2 inches, this edge right here is the crease line. But when it comes to a narrow or shallow piece, I actually like to have the ends to be a little bit longer so they go under the gift. So I'm going to measure it out that way. So this will go into the gift that much, so I'm gonna measure it basically the same on the other, and then I'm gonna trim. That was a little bit at an angle, but it's okay. So definitely I'm gonna save this piece of paper, and I'm gonna save that little edge that I cut off, that I will cut off. So I'm going to, you can kind of see that I'm eyeballing, and I'm giving myself enough length so that I can turn the edge under, and then I'm gonna trim this end off. This I definitely would keep, especially this kind of paper. You can do a lot with this, whether it's wrapping a small gift or using it as a collage. Maybe you're gonna make some stationery, maybe you can make some cards, okay? Maybe you're a painter, an artist, and you work with collage. This is great paper to use that with. Okay, so I'm just gonna straighten this out a little bit. Okay. Now, I'm gonna put the top side of the paper down. I'm gonna put the top of the gift down, okay? And I'm going to turn in this one edge, use double stick tape. All right, bring up this edge. Okay, I could see that, yeah, okay. Bring up that edge. Okay, I love working with this paper. Like I said, it's kind of like foil, so it creases really beautifully. All right, so now I'm gonna treat the, yeah, I probably could have gone a little bit shorter on the ends, but it's okay. So I'm gonna go in, make 45, 90-degree angles. My son, Dag, alerted me that I keep saying 45 degrees, and actually it's 90-degree angles. Okay, so there you go. Now, this paper has a lot of thickness to it, and so actually I'm gonna use something to hold. So I'm gonna bring this back, and I'm just gonna use this to hold it down for now. You can see again, I'm coming into the corners, making 90-degree angles, and then creasing wherever I am so that it's finished looking, right? Okay. Turn in the edge, use a piece of double stick tape. I actually don't think I turned the edge on the opposite side. It's okay. It's all right. Okay. Now this paper, like I said, is it's pretty thick, and probably if I didn't put ribbon around it, it probably would pop up. That's okay. Okay, so here we are. I'm gonna take my pointer finger and my thumb and pinch the edges so that there's an architectural feel to it, okay? And then, this is the little gem. All right, I have these great pieces of lithium quartz. I love lithium quartz. In fact, oh my God, look at this one. This thing is a beauty. This is lithium quartz. They say that lithium quartz is very healing and heart opening. If you're into the chakras, it works on your heart chakra, opening it up. So I'm gonna take, let's see, I'm gonna use this as a gift topper. I'm gonna use this bigger one. Okay, what am I gonna do with this, and how am I going to apply it? Okay, I'm gonna use this rayon seam binding. This is something very ubiquitous in the, any sewing shop where they're selling threads, sewing materials. All right, so basically when you're doing this, wrapping a crystal or wrapping anything, you're going to take your ribbon or twine, but in this case I'm using a ribbon, and I'm going to basically, I'm eyeballing maybe about 12 inches of excess on one side, all right? And then I'm going to put this is my left thumb, and hold this here, and I'm going to start wrapping this ribbon basically around itself. So I'm wrapping it around this strand, okay? Trying to keep the ribbon untwisted so that it has the width to work with it. And you could see how it's looking like, well, we're creating just kind of like a little jacket for this crystal, okay? And the reason why you want to wrap it from this side to here is that then by the time that this end comes to the top, I'll trim it. I'll put my crystal down and the ends can meet, right? On a date, just like they're on a date. All right. You want to tie it pretty tight so that the crystal doesn't fall out. And there you go. Okay. So now I'm just going to, I love these colors, the mauve and the blush and the lithium quartz. It's just gorgeous together, just gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to just take this ribbon and I'm just going to wrap it on one side 2 times. So as I'm wrapping this gift, I'm thinking, what would my sister like? She's very modern. She works in graphic design, so she has definitely a elevated aesthetic. And so I chose this paper specifically with her in mind, and this color palette, and even the way I'm wrapping this ribbon. Okay, so it's not the traditional way of where you're doing it, on the vertical and the horizontal. I just sort of took this in a different direction. I'm doing this off center. So the thing about gift wrapping, preparing a gift for someone, is that it's really a combination of the recipient's aesthetic and also the gift wrapper's aesthetic. So it's like combining the aesthetics in one. I mean, these elements I love, but I also think that my sister would love. And so I have this. I'm going to take this crystal and just tie it in here. So one thread is coming under, the other one is coming on top, and I'm just going to tie a knot. And then I have these great little tendrils. I'm going to keep them, I think I'm going to keep them long because they're so beautiful. I'm going to do them at different lengths on each side so that you have some movement. Oh, I'm loving how these colors are melding together. I'm just going to adjust the ribbon just a little bit so that it's tight. Here you go. Layers of love. Make sure to comment. I would love to hear from you. Make sure to subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.